Hello guys, I'm Danny from Taylor Strength. This is Joe, our new Olympic weightlifting coach from J&H Strength, and today we're going to talk about our brand new service at Taylor Strength Training, which is Olympic weightlifting. Joe's going to tell us a little bit more about himself, Olympic weightlifting, and what our plans are for Olympic weightlifting at Taylor Strength. So as you know, Taylor Strength is primarily a powerlifting gym, and we're trying to replicate that process but for Olympic weightlifting, which is why we've now got Joe on the team. And we've just finished a first taster session.
Yeah.
It went well.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, happy days.
Good
Okay,
times.
so frequently asked questions in weightlifting. What is Olympic weightlifting?
Okay, so Olympic weightlifting is the sport of the two lifts of the snatch and the clean and jerk. It's pretty much it. Obviously it differs from powerlifting. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's one of our questions, isn't it? The difference of it compared to powerlifting. I mean, that could be a segue into our next question. So, a lot of people will ask, what's the difference between Olympic weightlifting, what's weightlifting, and what's the difference between that and powerlifting or strength training in general? I think a common misconception is the difference between weightlifting and powerlifting. Whenever I've spoke to mates or family, and you'll know yourself, and I say, oh, I'm doing powerlifting, and they go, oh, weightlifting, yeah? I'm like, no.
I'm a weightlifter. I'm actually benching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
what is the difference between weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting, and powerlifting?
Okay, so like I mentioned before, Olympic weightlifting is just a snatch and clean jerk, whereas powerlifting is the squat, bench, and the deadlift. Olympic weightlifting is maybe a bit more technical, so no offense to powerlifters, but it's a lot more raw of a sport as powerlifting. So whereas in powerlifting you'll be able to grind out a bench that you've misgrooved, or kind of really push through a squat that you might not otherwise have got with a little bit of poor technique. Olympic weightlifting you kind of really get away with that, which is maybe why there's a little bit more field lifts in Olympic weightlifting.
Okay.
It's a lot more leg dominant of a sport. So back in the day it used to be the clean and press and the snatch, whereas now it's clean and jerk. So you can't just push the bar up overhead. You have to land with straight arms. So you can press the bar out now. So kind of it's made the sport a lot more lower body dominant.
Okay.
Obviously, whereas powerlifting, you've got bench in there.
Yeah, great, super. And what are the benefits of Olympic weightlifting then?
The benefits are various. I mean, if you look at power development is probably the most obvious one. Outside of that, though, training for powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, that's what I'm saying there. Your ability is going to get better over time. I mean, you may not start out amazing, but you have to develop it in order to get better. So it's a necessity of the sport. So we train to get better at that. Lower body strength and core strength is huge. To be able to stabilise a heavy jerk or a snatch overhead, there can't be a weakness in the chain, so you have to train that. Off the top of my head, it's kind of the main ones I think people look at.
I think mobility is a big one as well. You've seen from the
think
taster
so.
today how many people were limited just by their lack of mobility, but how beneficial Olympic weightlifting can be for your mobility. You're essentially stretching the muscles when you get into that position.
Yeah, I think it's one of those which puts people off maybe to start off with, because they look at the snatch, for example, and think, how could I get in that position?
Yeah.
But it's not something that people just start doing. It's not something you wouldn't just walk in for your first session then end up looking like a starfish on the ground. You're going to build into that, so you develop ability over time, and there's variations up until then of the snatch until you get the point of.
In that case, then, who can do Olympic weightlifting?
Most people. Olympic weightlifting isn't just, I mean, competitively speaking, you have to be able to snatch and clean and jerk within the rules, but to Olympic weightlift, there's so many variations which you can do, which can accommodate for mobility. So the power clean versus the full clean is a good example. So if you can't front squat all the way to depth, you could power clean.
I've seen that in competitions.
Yeah. You'll see masters athletes who do it quite often.
Yeah.
I think there's something as well as a split snatch.
Yeah, I think I've seen people who've been to the Olympic Games injured, and they can't, they've injured the knee, for example, they can't get into the bottom of the squat, so they're doing a power clean, but you can complete the progressive movement. So that's still permissible, that's still okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So if someone's injured then, I suppose that's a segue for the next question.
Okay.
Can they still perform the Olympic lifts?
It depends.
Always.
Always depends. So I've had a recent injury. So if we talk about training for weightlifting, there's variations you can have around it. Learning to do weightlifting, if you've got wrist injuries, maybe put it back a little bit, because you have to learn the positions. If you're a weightlifter already and training for weightlifting, you've got pulls from the floor, you've got your squat variations, your core variations, there's ways around things. I keep saying the variables, but the literally is absolutely listful, which you don't really see until you get behind the scenes of weightlifting.
I guess because it's so technical, or you've got to take everything into consideration before you're putting someone under the barbell.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, and what are your plans for Olympic weightlifting at Taylor Strength? Then obviously it's something that we've been discussing a lot over the last few weeks, so tell us a little bit more about what your plans are immediately and in the future.
Okay, so immediately we're running short courses, so 6-week blocks of initially clean and jerk.
Clean and jerk first.
I'm just used to the competition, aren't I?
So snatch and then clean and jerk and comp?
Yeah.
Got it.
But the clean and jerk's a little bit easier to learn, which is why we're doing this way around. So the clean and jerk followed by the snatch. So you can either buy separate blocks if you just want to use the clean and jerk or the snatch for a certain point of training. Feel free to come along, learn what you can, take the weight you're in training, or you can do the full course and learn both. In terms of the long game, we have a pretty cool powerlifting setup here, which we think is pretty successful, which we'd like to replicate. So just building that community of weightlifting, getting group sessions going, and hopefully getting people to the point where they can compete. And really take it as far as they can and get stuck in. So yeah, that's the long game.
So we've got a 6-week course, we've got a 12-week course, and then after that we're thinking about, or even between now and then, was looking at formulating small group coaching similar to that, or
small group powerlifters,
build a community, and then eventually put a squad together to take to competition.
Yeah.
That'd be the dream.
That'll be a run around for me.
No.
But yeah, that's the dream, or the goal even.
Yeah.
Just to kind of replicate what we've done with powerlifting and really give it a go. There doesn't seem to be much weight lifting in Liverpool.
Not at all.
Where it does exist, it seems to come from CrossFit, or it's not very well advertised. Yeah, I
don't think there's anywhere else in Liverpool. So if you are looking for Olympic weightlifting, something that's more intensive, something that's taught by a professional as well, make sure you inquire about our 6 and 12-week courses and Joe's Olympic weightlifting groups as well. We've kind of messed this order up. I should have asked you to introduce yourself first and talk a little bit more about you. So I suppose before we cut this off, could you tell us a little bit more about your background in Olympic weightlifting and your coaching experience as well?
So currently, I'll go from your experience first.
Yeah.
So I've been weightlifting a couple of years now. More recently got me British weightlifting qualification. Over the last year, I've been coaching the University of Liverpool. I'm doing quite well. Got a couple of lifters quite close. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Fate has been crossed. Got a couple of lifters starting to push national standard now, so after a year's worth of lifting. So I know it's a bit different between powerlifting and weightlifting, but it's a good standard to be at.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So progress has been pretty fast. It's built quite well over there. Hopefully some of our weightlifters will probably see them across here as well. What was the other part?
In terms of your background,
Olympic
weightlifting, tell us more about yourself. What sort of numbers are you putting up? How long have you been doing the sport for?
Let's not talk about that.
I always say that.
Yeah. I'm probably not the best weightlifter in the world for my weight. So my total is about 240 kilos, give or take a few, depending on what I've eaten. Just leave it vague.
Yeah.
I'm not putting weight out there. So my background in general in training, coaching. So I've since about 2012 did my undergraduate degree at John Moores University. Final year, that intern is a junior intern.
And that's strength and conditioning.
Yeah, strength and conditioning specific, which is where I first started getting the toe into weightlifting. So I was kind of introduced to it there. I think when you do any kind of S&C, you always kind of look across the water at...
do a lot of power cleans and...
Yeah, I think it's a staggering amount of S&C coaches will use, particularly hand clean, for power development.
Yeah.
I know a lot of research is kind of gearing towards simpler solutions. So I know that the weightlifting derivatives take a little bit longer to learn, but in terms of bang for buck, when you've learned them, they're second to none. From there, I digress. From there, I went to Northumbria University, did my masters in strength and conditioning, where I also interned again as a strength and conditioning intern. From there, back to John Moores University, strength and conditioning intern again, this time leading the programme, so under the head of S&C. So I helped lead it, kind of watching over people who were previously in my position, so actually just two rings of the ladder there. Yeah. And now I'm at the University of Liverpool as a fitness consultant with DLS Strength as a weightlifting coach, and with the University of Liverpool as a weightlifting coach as well. So
busy man.
Yeah. That's kind of a brief summary of the last 5 years of my life.
Yeah, sounds good.
6 years.
Yeah, it's all relevant. Okay, and so if you want to find out some more information about our Olympic weightlifting, you've just heard it first hand here from Joe. Immediately after we've just finished a 2.5 hour taster session for some budding Olympic weightlifters. So if you want to become one of those guys, you can get in touch with Joe on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle, Joe?
It's
I'll put this JMK Strength,
yeah.
at JMK Strength. I'll put this in the caption as well. You can get in touch with us at Taylors_Strength. You can drop us an email, inquiries at taylorstrength.co.uk. You can come and visit the gym and speak to me or Joe, and you can also set up a free consultation as well if you want to discuss private coaching or maybe even small group coaching.
Yeah.
Until then, we will see you next time, guys, and thanks for watching.
Cheers.